President of India. Qualifications, election, and removal. So let's take an overview. Jawaharlal Nehru once said, "We have not given him any real power, but we have made his position one of the great authority and dignity." So, a President of India is a nominal executive head. He's a head of a state, but not of the executive. He represents the nation, but does not rule the nation. Elected head. He is the elected head. It is for this reason that India is known as a republic. As you can see in this figure, President is at the top, followed by Vice President, then we have Prime Minister, which holds Council of Ministers. And further ministers have secretaries, additional secretaries, and then joint secretaries. Qualifications to become, or who can become the President of India. A citizen of India who is of 35 years of age or above may be a presidential candidate. The presidential candidate should be qualified to become a member of Lok Sabha and should not hold any office of profit under the government. Certain office holders, however, are permitted to stand as presidential candidates. These are the current Vice President, the Governor of any state, a Minister of the Union or of any state. In the event that the Vice President, a state governor, or a minister is elected president, they are considered to have vacated their previous office on the date they begin serving as a president. Now, who elects the President of India? Not every citizen participates in the election. Only the following vote the presidential candidates. Elected members of the Parliament. Elected members of legislative assemblies of various states. This is called the Electoral College for the office of the President. The members nominated by the President have no right to vote in this election. Similarly, the members of the legislative councils of the state legislatures, wherever they exist, have also been excluded from the Electoral College. Now let's study about election manner or the principle of election. The manner of election of President is provided by Article 55 of the Indian Constitution. The following principles are involved in the election of the President of India. It is an indirect election. The system of proportional representation by single transferable vote method is used. It is a secret ballot system, uniformity of representation of different states and the Union. As you can see in the figure, citizens vote for local MLA in the state assembly. Also, they can elect elected MP in Lok Sabha, which indirectly votes for President of India. So indirectly, citizen is also voting. Now, what is system of proportional representation? The elected candidates has to take more than 50% votes. If suppose the total votes are 1 lakh, the elected candidate has to garner at least 50,001 votes. Similarly, what is single transferable vote system? If any of the candidate fails to get more than 50% votes, second round of counting takes place. The process continues till one candidate gets majority, that is more than 50% of votes. So now, what are the election stages? Notification of the election of the President takes place, filing of nomination papers. The nomination of the candidate must be proposed by at least 50 voters and by the same number of voters. Scrutiny of nomination papers takes place. Then comes polling. MPs can cast their votes in Delhi and MLAs in their state capitals. Then counting of votes and declaration of result happens. Oath of the President of India. Oath taking by the President. The oath is administered by the Chief Justice of India. It reads, "I, so and so, do swear in the name of God that I will faithfully execute the office of the President or discharge the function of the President of India, and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the law. That I will devote myself to the service and well-being of the people. So this is how the oath of the President takes place. Now, criticism of this method. It is not proportional representation system because such a system is adopted for multi-member constituencies. To mark second preference is not compulsory. No possibility of election of non-political personality, and obviously it is a complex system. Other things that President has the special powers. The President can declare state, national and financial emergencies. Punjab, Jharkhand and Jammu and Kashmir have been under presidential rule. Opening address by the President. The President delivers the opening address for the first session of the Parliament as well as the first session of a newly elected government, defining the policies of the government. The President is the Commander-in-Chief of the Indian Armed Forces. The President appoints our state governors, Supreme Court and High Court judges, and the Chief Justice. The President can summon and dissolve Parliament sessions, and bill passed in the Parliament can become law only after the President's approval. Commute jail sentence. The President of India has the power to reduce jail, the degree of punishment, or pardon criminals. Even death sentences can be absolved on appeal. The President is provided with the Rashtrapati Bhavan, which has 340 rooms spread over 20,000 square feet and was built with 700 million bricks. Now comes removal or impeachment process of President. A President can be removed for violation of the Constitution. The process may start in either of the two houses of the Parliament. Either of the two houses can initiate the process. The charges leveled against the President have to be signed by at least 1/4 of the total members of the House. The notice is sent up to the President and 14 days later, it is taken up for consideration. A resolution to impeach the President has to be passed by a 2/3 majority of the total members of the originating House. It is then sent to the other House. The other House investigates the charges that have been made. During this process, the President has the right to defend himself, herself, through an authorized counsel. It is the second House also approves the charges made by 2/3 majority. Again, the President stands impeached and is deemed to have vacated his or her office from the date when such a resolution stands passed. Other than the impeachment, no other penalty can be given to the President of India for the violation of the Constitution. So that was a bit about President of India. Thank you.